Mrs. Spranger, first of all, let me just say that every last one of us supports safety in the industry. But I think you are leaving me when you talk about daily fines. The industry itself have spent over $5 billion on positive train control, and I don't feel that the Federal Railroad Administration or this U.S. Federal Communication Commission, we've had daily, not daily, but we've had meetings where we've discussed spectrum, and I don't think that the administration have done all they need to do to move us forward. And to sit here and say that we're going to have daily fines and we may have to shut down the industry, it's not going to fly. And so I would like for you to respond to that.
Ma'am, I was responding to the question about what our authority is in terms of fining. We are now working on our enforcement strategy, and we'll communicate it to you.
No, I'm not talking about enforcement. I'm talking about support, what we've done to help the industry. For example, with the spectrum, Amtrak had to purchase it. How come we did not provide it for the industry? And they had a hard time getting it, and that delayed the projects.
I'll let the FCC answer the spectrum question, but I can tell you from the FRA's perspective, we have hired a significant staff. One of the witnesses previously said there's only a dozen staff at FRA working on PTC. That's absolutely incorrect. We have staff in Washington and across the country. We have offered loans. We have asked for grants. We have offered financial assistance. We have offered assistance across the board. We are still waiting for safety plans to come in from railroads and based on implementation.
I hear what you're saying, but as far as I'm concerned, you all have been the caboose as far as helping and assisting us moving forward. And I don't mean it in a negative sense, but we've had, you're acting, you haven't been here the entire time. We've been going over this for years, and we just have not gotten the administration or where it needs to be as far as assistance moving forward. I mean, when we say positive train control, it's a combination. What happened at Amtrak, it wasn't just didn't have positive train control, didn't have the proper equipment as far as the cars are concerned, had to purchase the spectrum. It's just a whole list of things that I feel that the administration should have worked. And I don't mean this administration. I'm saying it's been a multiplicity of administrations that haven't done everything that they need to do to get us where we need to be. Now, even if they come up with, well, here we are, even if they come up with it in 2018, then it still would take 2 or 3 years to determine whether or not the system working together.
Ma'am, I can only speak for this administration. I can't speak for previous administrations, but this administration has done a great deal to try to bring railroads along and into compliance with a mandate that was passed by this Congress in 2008. And we have been sounding the alarm for years about our concern that railroads were not going to meet the deadline. And so I believe this administration has done a great deal of work to bring railroads along, but we have not seen the progress that we need to.
All right. I'm just letting you know you're leaving me, but go ahead to the next person.
You're asking about the question of the Amtrak spectrum?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. The way the railroads approached this process initially, they selected a spectrum band in the 220 to 222 megahertz. I'm sorry to get technical on you, but it's a part of the spectrum that was already owned by other people. It has licensees. Unfortunately, in that case, what we would have had to do to give that spectrum to anyone else is we would have had to have taken it away from the existing owners through a process that would have required compensation, finding them additional spectrum, and also potentially would have led to litigation. So what we thought would be a more productive approach would be to actively work with Amtrak to find spectrum on the secondary market that they could use for PTC in the same spectrum block.
Well, as we move forward, that is an issue that the Congress needs to address. My next round, I'll go to you, Frank. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Mr. Rice, you're recognized for 5 minutes.